Through the practice of yoga, your perception can rise to such a degree that you can understand the language of all beings, the plants, the birds, the animals. This is what is referred to as darshan, knowing something through direct perception, not through information.
So how is it that the ancient Rishis of India knew the properties of so many herbs and plants, which today science is discovering through so much research in the labs? Our Rishis knew this because of their power of perception. Yoga is a practice of raising your perception.
Sadhguru says that if you stick to the classical form of yoga, over a period of time, your breath will become slow. There are very poetic expressions for this. They say, if your breath becomes 11 per minute, you understand the language of every animal and bird around you. If your breath becomes 9, you understand the very language that the earth is speaking. If your breath becomes 7, you know everything that is worth knowing in existence. There is a mention of Luqman by Osho in his commentary on Yoga Sutras. Osho calls him the greatest unani physician who could communicate with plants and knew the properties of these plants. Similarly, knowledge of Ayurveda handed down from ancient sages gives properties of so many herbs.
How is this possible? Maharishi Patanjali explains this in chapter 3 of Yoga Sutras, verse 17, that once you have come into Samyama, your perception can become so powerful that you will be able to understand the language of all beings. It must be mentioned that in this Vibhuti Pada, all these Siddhis that come to a person who is on the path of yoga, he should not get carried away by the Siddhi, because this is not the purpose of yoga. If one gets too attached to the Siddhi, then his growth will stop. The purpose of yoga and the path of yoga is to take you towards self-realization, towards kaivalya, liberation.